What it do, JG gang? It's your girl Jada Gibbons in the cut, back with another video. Finna fuck it up. Dab on them, y'all. Alright, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about relationships, relationship advice, just anything and everything that someone's supposed to know to be able to make a relationship work. And if you guys already don't know, I myself am a motivational speaker and I am a poet as well. So I'm really good at giving people advice, really good at helping people out, feel me, how to swerve and move through a relationship without getting their heart broken and shit like that. Also, FYI, sorry about how my room looks right now. If I look pink, it's because I have pink curtains. Also, I'm recording off of my phone because I'm a broke ass bitch. So just bear with me. Bear with me. Also, I might not edit this video, so if you hear some background noise, it's because my mom's in the living room watching TV and all that other shit, black folks don't be giving a fuck. But anyways, let's get into the video. Alright, so first things first. The first most important thing in a relationship that I feel is important to making a relationship work is trust. I have a notebook. I wrote all of the answers down that I need from my own brains. I'm not taking this shit from other places. This is all my own, shit. But basically, I feel as though the most important thing in a relationship, first things first, is trust. Because when you're in a relationship with somebody, you have to be able to trust them in order to be able to, love them correctly and to be able to, go into that relationship in a comfortable, manner. If you don't trust the person you're with, you're not going to be comfortable. You're not going to be, fully in it. Your brain's going to be on everything else because you're going to be so tense and so oh, what if they're doing this while I'm not here, type shit. So I feel like you have to trust the person you're with in order to make the relationship work, because without trust, it's what are we doing? You don't trust me, I don't trust you, so we're constantly clashing because we can't seem to get it right. We can't seem to trust each other. So I feel like that's one of the most main important things. Another important thing in a relationship is communication. But without understanding in your communication, there is no point to communicate. You have to be able to understand what it is the person is communicating to you. So it's if I'm telling you how I feel and you're not understanding what it is I'm telling you, then there's no point in me even saying anything because it's going in one ear and out the other. So I feel like in order to be able to communicate properly, you have to be able to understand what the person is telling you. And that's what I think people fail to realize when it comes to communication. You can have all the proper communication in the world, but if they don't understand anything you're saying, it's pointless. Patience is another thing that's important when it comes to communicating, because you can't give up easily on somebody because you feel like they're not understanding what it is you're saying. Because sometimes you have to take a look at yourself and at the bigger picture and be like, okay, maybe they're not understanding because of the way I'm, handing it out to them. They're perceiving it differently based off of what I'm, trying to get them to understand. So I feel like you really have to be able to look within yourself and be like, okay, let me calm down for a second. Let me take a second to really reflect on what it is I'm saying to them and saying it in a different manner to where they can understand it. Because most times in relationships, people give up quickly because they feel like the other person is not feeling where they're coming from. And that's kind of not fair, I feel like you should take time to really put yourself in the other person's shoes so that they can understand what it is you're trying to get them to understand, so that you guys don't constantly argue, because it's you guys against the problem, not you guys against each other. So, yeah, that's very important. I feel like I'm talking really fast right now, so if I am, let me know in the comments. Sorry. Kind of just woke up from a nap, kind of just hopped into this video, kind of just did a lot of shit. But anyways, so another thing that I feel like is important in a relationship to make a relationship work, this should be the first thing of all things, is putting God first. You have to put God first in everything that you do. That's relationships, friendships, any and everything, your goals, your dreams. You have to put God first, because if you don't have God in it, it won't work. It won't last. And then for those of you that are on my channel and who are, not strong believers of God and who are, not really the religious type, that's okay. But for those who do believe in God and who are strong believers in, in Jesus Christ, I feel like that's very important for a relationship, is to put God first. Because with God in it, it will last. it will become stronger. It will become more solid. You'll have more patience, more love, more guidance. And so I feel like that's also something that's very important, is keeping God first and praying for your relationship, because, you know, the more you pray about it, the more it'll work. That's something people don't understand. Prayer heals. Trust me, it really does. If you're praying correctly, you'll get healed correctly. Another thing that I feel like that's important that people constantly try to like look over and not focus on is that self-love. In order to love someone else, you have to love yourself first. You have to love yourself fully. Be content with yourself fully and completely. If you can't be content with you and only you by yourself, then there's no way you can be content with somebody else. You'll constantly look within other people to fill the void within yourself. So that's honestly, I feel like that tops everything other than God, because there's no way you can get to any of these other steps in a relationship until you love you first. There's no way you're going to love somebody in the proper way that they need to be loved if you can't even love yourself in the proper way that you need to be loved. You know, you have to first know that you deserve this type of love in order to know that somebody else deserves this type of love. Because if you don't know what you deserve, how the fuck are you going to tell somebody else what they deserve? How are you going to give somebody else what they deserve if you can't even give it to yourself? I'm really just rambling right now, and I'm going off the top of my head, but it's honestly facts. Because it's like people really wonder why relationships don't work for them. And it's because they hop into a relationship after hopping out of another one. They don't give themselves time to breathe, time to reflect on their own issues, their own toxic behaviors. You have to give yourself time to really think about what it is you're doing, what it is you want, what it is you need. Take time from the world and focus a little bit more on yourself. Be in tune with you so that you can learn you and learn what you need, so that you're not constantly going in and out of relationships trying to find what you need and hurting other people in the process. You know? But I feel like people try to find self-happiness within other people. Self-happiness within other people. People search for their own happiness within other people and wonder why they can't find that happiness, because you're searching for something that you can only give yourself. Nobody else can give you that happiness that you truly need to make yourself, you know, be more better, grow more, you know? It's like people really want to be happy, but they can't even make themselves happy without somebody else, you know, giving them a helping hand. So, you know, you have to really take time for yourself to really learn who you are, because people think, you know, they know who they are, but you really don't know who you are until you really take time to really learn every little thing about yourself and take time to reflect on the things that make you mad, the things that make you sad, the things that make you, you know, feel, you know, weak inside, the things that make you feel depressed. You really have to learn those things and be able to learn what it is that ticks you off and makes you feel like you're not enough. Once you learn those things, you'll be able to find out what it is that you need out of somebody else without draining the other person, without having the person lose themselves while loving you. So that's very important. The key to a successful relationship is self-happiness, self-love, self-worth. Being able to be aware that you're worth it, that you are enough. You know, you are enough with or without a man or a woman to tell you that you're enough. And another thing that people forget about when it comes to relationship is there's only two roadways to a relationship. It's either you end it or you get married. There's nothing else to it, you know. It's either you're going to break up in the future or you're going to get married in the future. And I feel like some people want that married life, but they aren't working towards it, and they wonder why all the relationships are ending. Is because the real goal for them is something that they are not even capable of reaching. You know, you don't have the tools it takes to make it to that marriage life. You don't have the trust, you don't have the love, you don't have the guidance, you don't have the drive, you know. You got to be willing to put everything on the line for that person if you really want to make it to the marriage life. Compromising, sacrificing, being able to be like, okay, you know, I love waking up at 10 o'clock, but today my wife needs to make me, you know, wake up at 6 a.m. I'm going to lose sleep, but for her, I have to do it, you know. That's the type of shit you have to do when you want to be in a fully committed relationship, you have to compromise certain things that you're not comfortable with compromising to make the relationship work and to make the relationship grow. The key to growing is being uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable in every setting, because if you're too comfortable, you'll be stagnant. Stagnant means stuck. You won't move. You'll be constantly in that same position for the rest of your life. You have to be uncomfortable in order to grow. That's the only way it's going to work. And a key to a relationship that all people forget is you have to grow. If you're not growing, it's not working. If you're constantly arguing every day and it's not progressively getting to something that's positive, it's not working. Leave it alone. Remove yourself from it. That's another thing that's important. You can't drain your energy on somebody who doesn't even deserve your energy. Let me say that again. You can't drain your energy on somebody who doesn't even deserve your energy. If they don't deserve anything that you're offering, remove yourself from the situation. It's not worth your time. It's not worth anything that you have. Period. Now, if they're worth it, by all means, do everything you can to keep them happy. Or should I say add to their happiness, because like I said, you should be making yourself happy before anyone else can make you happy. So if somebody comes and offers you happiness, that should be adding to it. That shouldn't be the only happiness you're receiving. You should already be receiving happiness from within yourself. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like people don't take relationships seriously. I feel like they think it's like easy in a sense. I mean, it is if you're doing it correctly, but people don't see what all it takes to make a relationship actually work and be successful. And another thing that I would want people to know is that you don't have to be loved. You don't have to be hurt first in order to be loved correctly. Let me say that again. You don't have to be hurt first in order to be loved correctly. People think, oh, as long as, I'm being a ride or die, draw all the bullshit, I'm gonna see the happy ending. This is love. This is real love. I'm riding through it all, so this is real love. No. If it's causing you pain, it's not love. If it's